Neil Sedaka, the legendary singer-songwriter whose career spanned more than 6 decades, has passed away at the age of 86. The news of his death has left fans around the world heartbroken, especially after many realized that his final social media video felt like a quiet farewell, a tribute to good times, good music, and good friends, words that perfectly captured the philosophy he lived by. In a statement shared with media outlets, Sedaka's family described him as a true rock and roll legend and an inspiration to millions. But beyond the fame and accolades, they emphasized that he was, above all, a loving husband, father, and grandfather who will be deeply missed. An official cause of death has not yet been revealed, adding to the shock of what many have called a sudden loss. Just days before his passing, Sedaka posted a video on social media in which he could be seen sitting at the piano, smiling warmly as he played and sang. The caption read, "Good times, good music, and good friends, that's always been my philosophy." He added that the track would be featured on Steppin' Out, set for release on April 10, and expressed excitement about sharing it again with fans. At the time, the post felt like a simple promotion, a beloved artist connecting with his audience as he had done for decades. But after news of his death broke, fans returned to the video with new emotions. What once seemed like a joyful update now felt like a closing chapter, almost like a subtle goodbye none of them realized they were witnessing. Comments quickly flooded the post. Longtime listeners shared memories of childhood afternoons filled with his records spinning in the background. Many wrote about their parents playing his albums endlessly in the 1960s and 1970s. Some said his music defined their youth, while others described discovering his songs years later and instantly falling in love with the melodies. One fan wrote that they could close their eyes and immediately hear every note of his greatest hits. Another called him a musical genius whose songwriting ability was often underestimated despite the massive success he achieved. Others quoted lyrics from "Breaking Up Is Hard to Do," turning one of his most famous lines into a collective goodbye. Born on March 13, 1939 in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, Sedaka's connection to music began early. A teacher recognized his talent when he was still a child and encouraged him to take piano lessons. That early push led to a scholarship at the preparatory division for children at Juilliard, where he refined his technical skills and deepened his understanding of composition. As a young musician emerging from New York's legendary Brill Building scene, Sedaka found himself surrounded by ambitious writers and producers shaping the future of pop music. It was there that he developed not only as a performer, but as a songwriter with an extraordinary gift for melody. His ability to craft catchy hooks combined with heartfelt lyrics quickly distinguished him from his peers. By the early 1960s, Sedaka had become a chart-topping sensation. He achieved 3 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100 and placed 9 songs in the top 10. Tracks like "Calendar Girl," "Happy Birthday, Sweet 16," and "Breaking Up Is Hard to Do" became cultural staples, played on radios across America and beyond. However, like many artists of his era, Sedaka faced challenges as musical trends evolved. The rise of British rock and changing audience tastes in the late 1960s temporarily slowed his commercial momentum. Yet rather than fade into obscurity, he adapted. His remarkable comeback in the mid-1970s demonstrated both resilience and relevance. A key figure in that resurgence was Elton John, who admired Sedaka's talent and helped support his return to mainstream success. Their collaboration on "Bad Blood" in 1975 became a major hit, reintroducing Sedaka to a new generation of fans. Beyond his own performances, Sedaka's songwriting talents extended to other artists. He wrote Connie Francis' "Stupid Cupid," a 1958 classic that remains one of her signature songs. Years later, he co-wrote "Love Will Keep Us Together," which became a chart-topping hit for Captain and Tennille. These successes cemented his reputation not just as a singer, but as one of the most versatile writers of his time. Over the decades, Sedaka received 5 Grammy nominations, including one at the second-ever Grammy Awards ceremony in 1959. His induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1983 recognized the enduring influence of his work. In 1978, he was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a lasting symbol of his contribution to entertainment history. Even after reaching iconic status, Sedaka never stopped performing. He toured internationally, recorded new material, and maintained close relationships with fans. Audiences often described his concerts as joyful and intimate experiences filled with storytelling and warmth. His final video now carries deeper meaning. In it, he appeared relaxed and content, seated at the piano with the same enthusiasm that defined his earliest performances. There was no sign of farewell or sadness, only appreciation for music and the community built around it. For many fans, that video has become a source of comfort. It shows him doing what he loved most, sharing melodies and connecting with listeners. Rather than a dramatic exit, his final public appearance felt consistent with his lifelong philosophy: celebrate the good moments, cherish friendships, and let music bring people together. Sedaka is survived by his wife, Leba Strasberg, whom he married in 1962. Their marriage spanned more than 60 years, an extraordinary milestone in both life and show business. Together, they raised 2 children, Mark and Dara, and built a family foundation that remained strong throughout decades of fame. As tributes continue to pour in from fans, musicians, and industry professionals, one theme remains clear: gratitude. Many are not only mourning his passing but celebrating the joy he brought into their lives. His songs remain embedded in personal memories, from first dances to family gatherings. Though the official cause of death has not yet been disclosed, the suddenness of his passing has left a profound impact. Still, his legacy stands untouched. More than 6 decades of music, songwriting excellence, and unwavering passion ensure that Neil Sedaka's voice will continue to resonate. In the end, his final message about good times, good music, and good friends feels less like a promotional caption and more like a summary of a life well lived. It is a reminder that while artists may leave this world, their melodies remain. At 86 years old, Neil Sedaka leaves behind a catalog of timeless songs and a legacy defined by creativity, resilience, and warmth. His music continues to play, and through every note, his spirit lives on.